All right, welcome back to SportsLine. As we all know, football season, especially in the NFL, never ends. Schedule came out last week. The NFL draft is next week, and this week the Titans back at work at St. Thomas Sports Park. Off-season workouts beginning. Here is head coach Mike Mularkey.
I'd like to say it's as good to see everybody as it was to see the players this morning. There must be some good things getting ready to take place. No, it's good to have everybody back. Hear the voices in here, get to meet everybody, meet the new coaches, new faces that we've added since the 2015 season ended. And there's a lot of energy in the room this morning. Looks like and a lot of guys came in shape. That's what we were hoping for.
You obviously had games at the end of last season, but this is your first time here on day one of an off season and a year. Do you feel like a new coach, or does it feel like you're picking up where you left off?
Well, it's not. Well, I know everybody. You know, usually when you're coming in here, you're not going to have seen a lot of these guys until this first day, to where you can get to meet them for the first time, get to know who they are personally. I basically know everybody, with the exception of the free agents that we just signed. I mean, I know them well enough. I've had dinner with them. It's not like them coming in here brand new and have to meet a bunch of new players. No.
You've taken over 3 teams now. How does this year differ for you from the other 2 in the fact that things seem to be kind of falling into place for how you wanted them to progress headed into this season?
Well, obviously having an opportunity to be around them for 9 weeks as the head coach, being around the team really, this is going into my 3rd year. I know these guys pretty well. I got a chance to see some things that needed to be addressed before I got the job permanently. A lot of those have been addressed, whether it's been changes in coaches, player changes. The facility is going to have a makeover. There's a lot of things already taking place earlier than it would have taken me if I came in here brand new and had to see what had to be changed. I mean, I had a pretty good idea what needed to be changed.
But I mean, a trade for a guy like DeMarco Murray, and now the trade of the first pick. Right. I mean, it's kind of all fall into place for you, isn't it?
It's going as planned. As we've talked, we're hoping that John and I have been in constant communication on everything that's taken place. We meet daily. We knew what we needed running back wise, and went after it. John did a great job making that happen. And then we talked at length with the trade and what our options were and how far could we take it. And I think it was fair. I mean, look, you're going from 1 to 15. You better get a good bit of picks and good ones. And you got to find a taker, and we did. So, but I thought that was methodically thought out and talked about all the way to the brink of where we thought this is. We wanted that feeling like this is it. We got a good feeling. We got and we didn't have it until that day. And we made the switch from 4 to switching 4 and 3. We thought that was a deal.
Mike, what was kind of your overriding message to players as you met with them today? And you talk about changing. And do you say it's going to be done this way from here on out, or how much of that do you get into?
Well, I think they know me a little bit, but I think it was pretty clear. John spoke to him briefly this morning about the vision and the direction we're going. And then I said the same thing. Look, everything from this second back is irrelevant. We're talking about the now and moving forward in everything. And that it's a clean slate for everybody. And that's coaches and players as well. That all we're worried about is getting faster today, getting stronger today, getting a better grasp of the schemes today. And then what happens tomorrow, we'll worry about that tomorrow. But everything beyond us is not going to be talked about.
Are there any players not here?
Josh Aubrey is not here. His wife is expecting Wednesday.
He's the only one?
He's the only one.
You mentioned maybe Derek might have some issues at the start. What's his status?
We're going to monitor him, especially these first couple phases where there's no really activity that's going to stress him out. This is more of a controlled. This is probably the best time to teach. A lot of walkthrough, a lot of talking or talk-throughs, a lot of meeting times. We've got time with him, and then we get into the OTAs where it gets a little more physical and fast. We'll still watch him. just to be smart. This is not the time to test to see if he's ready to go. We've got plenty of time for that.
Is he making?
Yeah, he's ahead of schedule. But again, we're going to try to keep it that way.
From the day you took over, the conversation was about protecting Marcus better. Ben Jones, obviously, a big addition. But you feel like there's still work to be done and people that need to join this team to get you where you want to be in that department?
Again, we're looking at all the options based on what we have with this draft coming up here, where we're at, what we can do to, not all, I'm talking about all the positions, but obviously, I've talked about it earlier, the line is a work in progress. We're going to, if you put a depth chart together today, it would be where we ended, just to start that way. But all these guys are going to have options or chances to work at different positions to see what's the best fit for everybody. And we are going to look at it draft-wise, as I think both of our lines, we talked about, those are emphasis in this draft. We stated that way back, it still is. And then protection-wise, the schemes, and that's been addressed with basically a new playbook to help out in that phase too. I mean, it's not just the O-line, it's everybody getting better to help out with the protections in every position.
Where do you see, maybe since the end of last season, where do you think you've made the greatest upgrades position-wise, and kind of where do you think you still need depth, still need to have depth?
I think we need depth throughout this football team. I mean, it's just, I think that's one thing that was glaring when we had some injuries last year. It really affected our team, especially defensively. We've obviously with signing Ben, the center, he's been a consistent player as far as playing and staying healthy. I think we've done a good job. Really, we've addressed all three phases. I think with Rashad, his safety, it helps us back there with the loss, not the loss, but Michael Griffin moving on. Even Antoine Blake, our special teams, now to me has been, we've got a guy that's a very good special teams player, and a guy to be reckoned with every Sunday, which the more you have of those, the better we'll be in that phase. So we were addressing every phase of this football team when we could.
I think with special teams, can you kind of just characterize the difference? You've talked a lot about the April bringing a different scheme. Philosophically, what's the big change?
I think Bobby's got a long history in this league. 30 years in special teams, has been very successful when we were together in Buffalo. But it's very similar to the other schemes. It's not real complicated. It's very player friendly. It allows players to play fast. He's very, very detailed, very, very diligent of how he teaches. I mean, he's demanding in a way that guys will play for him. Every Sunday they will play their hearts out for him.
How much difference is it for Marcus? Obviously, he was coming here after the draft last year, but for him to come in here, a year under his belt, just the presence.
I think any player that comes back for their second year, it's not overwhelming. It's not the NFL. I'm not trying to have to prove myself to make this team, or I have to do anything. It's just a different feel as a veteran per se coming back in here. For Marcus to come this time of last year, he's getting ready for the draft. He had a lot of things going on this time last year. I mean, even after the draft, he had a lot of things going on. So his preparation, this is not a total overhaul of the offense. This is there's definitely going to be a difference for him in the offense, but he's going to have a good head start compared to where he was last year in regards to running this offense.
How important was the change